Greetings, my friends. What if I were to say to you that your digital transformation strategy is likely neither strategic nor transformational? So that cloud migration, operational, I'm afraid, not strategic. That new booking app that you've created matches customer expectations, not transformational. So what does it mean when we talk about having a digital transformation strategy, or are we simply digitizing the existing business? That's what we're going to look at in this video. Okay, I want to introduce to you Mr. McCloudy. Mr. McCloudy works for one of the big consultancy or IT firms. He comes in and sees the CTO, Mr. CTO, and he said, I can help you do things faster, cheaper, better. Mr. CTO rightly says, that's exactly what we need. He then talks about his enterprise architecture, his data strategy, and his operational efficiency. Of course, Mr. McCloudy has an answer for all of that. Migrate to my wonderful cloud and use my wonderful tools. Of course, easier said than done, but Mr. CTO is on board. He then has to take this to Mrs. CEO and he builds a business case. He's going to do more with less. He's going to digitally transform the organization. Mrs. CEO is enamored with this new plan because she's been hearing so much about digital transformation. She does then say, oh, I've got a little pet project. Could you squeeze that in? Great. Now, I need you to innovate, but we're not really going to take any risks, right? It's only sure-shot innovations. And I need you to do cost reductions, but at the same time, transform. So maintain business as usual and transform at the same time. Oh, and link it in with a corporate strategy, blah, 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 and we're done. Of course, Mr. CTO is starting to feel a little nervous about this. He then, about to leave the room, and all of a sudden the CEO says, come back here. My friend Jim, he works at IBM and he says blockchain is going to revolutionize our business. Now they're too expensive, but you can do that, can't you? Just whenever you're ready, just let me know. I'll go and grab the popcorn and we'll wait for the revolution to start. Viva la revolution, we will transform. So the CEO is in on this technology play too. She knows technology is important. Before we're finished, in comes Mr. Business. And of course, Mr. Business, he means business. He means to get new apps that are going to be essential for his transformation. He's got his own pet projects. He's got his own data dashboard. He wants to create more dashboards, even though the last 3 have not been used in any meaningful decision-making way. He needs a 4th. He talks about the technology, but ignores that some of it is web-enabled platforms that are maintained by third parties. Some of it is in-house and some of it is managed services. But he wants it all to work and he needs it done by next week. At this stage, the exacerbated Mr. CTO is trying to push through a strategic plan which he knows he doesn't have the resources for. He doesn't have the skills. He doesn't have a workable timeline. But politics as it is, he pushes on. This is how we find most transformation strategies are created. Here's the rub. None of them mentioned entering new markets. Customers were not at the beating heart of all those decisions. The competitors that needed to be displaced, the market that needed to be created, the innovation and the insight that would have come from rapid experimentation almost rubbed out. This is an upgrade to existing business operations, and that's not a bad thing, but it's not strategic. So what's the problem? The business that comes in with a good strategy wipes out the businesses that are busily digitizing last year's business model. So we have to first of all understand the difference between strategies and plans. Now, what we do is we try to elevate the status of a plan by giving it a date sometime in the future, a to-do list with checks. And we do those things so we're strategic. We have a web plan, a content management plan, an IT plan, a HR plan, but we call them HR strategies, IT strategies. They are actually plans and they're good. But here's the thing, building cloud infrastructure, for example, is an operational plan. It's not a strategy. Integrating data sets is an operational plan. It's not a strategy. Acquiring new talent for your machine learning models you want to make is a plan. That's on the planning side. Now, let's take a shift to the strategic side. In the strategic side, it's different because you don't own the customer. It's focused around the customer. Planning, you own the budgets. You know what needs to happen by when, you know what the outcomes look like. In a strategic side, you're defining the pitch you wish to play on. You're entering a new market in order to attract new customers to defeat competitors. You don't know how they will react. You cannot prove in advance assumptions when we're entering into the strategic side. So if we want to transform, transformation is a strategic game. Digitization is a planning game. Digitization is good, but it's a first step. Transformation is the deliberate, strategic repositioning of your business in the digital economy. It's different. In the 7 principles of digital business strategy, we try to figure out what it is that you want, what it is that your customers want by understanding the data, understanding the market forces and competition, which is dynamic and the data changes constantly, so we have to build that into how we plan, the resources that we have available, the position we're in now, the position we would like to go, and how we're going to test the assumptions around it. All of this is evidence-based and data-driven. This is a strategic framework for digital transformation, not what we've seen Mr. McCloudy and Mr. CTO come up with. This is a leadership challenge, and the leaders need to understand this as a broader part of a holistic change in how they need to transform themselves. We offer courses to leaders, managers, decision makers, technologists who need to take their organizations through transformation, of which planning and strategic decision making is a core part. If you're running plans and calling them strategies, if you are digitizing and calling it transformation, the business leaders, managers, decision makers and technologists all need an upgrade. That's normal. What took your business to this stage is not what will take you through a transformation stage. And to mistake it as technology is what will put you in with that 70% of failures. Technology is a vital component, but it is one component out of many that are required if we're to transform a business and succeed in the digital economy. Thank you for listening to my monologue. Please hit subscribe if you would like to get further updates. And if you're so way inclined, if you would like to take one of our courses, please come to our website. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.